Greetings, Crocodile Army. I've mentioned Donald Trump a couple times this political season, and while he's easy to make fun of, there's an underlying sadness to his ascent to the top of the political scene. Until 6 months ago, I saw Donald Trump as just a loudmouthed, wealthy businessman and reality TV star, and he still is all of those things. But now he's more. I've never thought he was worthy of much attention, and I saw him as more vapid than malicious. Then, as the campaign heated up, the list of people he insulted just grew and grew. Between minorities, women, poor people, Muslims, and basically anyone else other than his own demographic of well-off white males, I don't think I have to enumerate all of the nonsense that has come out of his mouth, since there are montages of it all over YouTube. So, how could someone so clearly bigoted get so much support in the United States? You'll get wildly different answers depending on who you ask. I know a lot of Republicans, but most of those Republicans are not Trump supporters. I've seen some of them, along with some conservative pundits, claiming that the rise of Trump is actually Obama's fault, because Obama's not being aggressive enough to counter the ISIS threat, and that anger is being channeled toward an angry candidate. As well as being a somewhat damning indictment of the intellect of Republican primary voters, it's amusing that they're trying to transfer blame for these ugly traits from their party to the other. Republican voters have no shortage of options when it comes to people who say they'll do better than Obama. There's a clown car full of them. So why is Trump specifically so attractive to them? This theory on where the anger comes from would be easy to test, at least as a hypothetical. You only need to ask one question. If you put Trump in the Democratic primary, would he get anywhere near that much support? The answer is no, of course he wouldn't. I have a much more plausible reason for Trump's success. There are certainly racists in both parties, but racists and other bigots have often just had to guess at which candidate would be closest to their views on various types of outsiders. No major candidate has ever catered to them so directly, so the bigot vote isn't as split this time. I have sympathy for Republicans who are getting anxious about the damage Trump's success is doing to the party's image. Both sides have plenty of low-information voters, but it's embarrassing to have bigots so clearly making their mark. I have no doubt that Trump will ultimately fail to get the nomination, and it'll probably be a more establishment candidate like Marco Rubio, who Republicans will select. The establishment has to be careful, though, because if Trump feels like he's being mistreated, he can run as an independent. I suspect that Trump's definition of being mistreated is simply not being nominated. I don't think there's anything more shocking that Trump can say to dissuade any of his supporters from voting for him at this point. I asked a couple friends who supported him if they still did, and they brushed off his recent comments about Muslims as a mixture of agreeing with them and dismissing them as political theater, but both are still on board. One of them even got a concealed carry permit because it's dangerous out there and there are Muslims who live near her. Hopefully that won't end badly, but there's nothing I'm going to be able to say to change her mind about how to best protect herself from the dangers out there. The part of everyone's brain where Trump lives is the part where we're scared, frustrated, and wanting someone to do something. They want to shake things up. They're upset because they think that Muslim Obama tried to take their guns away, maybe. Everyone has the Trump part of their brain. It's the part of the brain that freaks out when Muslim immigrants kill 14 people, but Americans kill 12,000 people every year, and it never even notices. So everyone, find that Trump part of your brain, make it submit, and bow to reason. Never let the Trump part of your brain control you.